Yo, what's up, friends? Welcome back to another exhilarating episode of Psychopath Exposure. My name is Kira, and I've missed you guys. I hope you guys had an amazing Halloween. You're enjoying autumn for those that live in a place where the leaves actually dry out and fall. It's now November. Holidays are upon us. Can you believe that? Time flies, doesn't it? Time flies. But we're back. Sure going to be talking about psychopaths today. Because you know what? Ironically enough, we spend a lot of our time covering the topic of narcissist personality disorder, narcissist abuse, narcissists. Not enough focus as of late on actual psychopaths, which was the purpose of this channel to begin with. Now, yes, all psychopaths tend to have narcissist personality disorder and they tend to follow similar patterns, but they're much more dangerous, okay? If you've dealt with a psychopath, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you're dealing with a psychopath, you wish, and this is not to downplay any of this type of cluster B abuse, but you will wish that your problems resorted only to love bomb, devalue, discard, or cheating, and they move on. You would wish it was that. It's a world of hell you don't even want to know, okay? Trust me, I had to deal with two of them. I've helped so many people in these dangerous situations, how to navigate through that and how to put these motherfuckers away. And I hope I can help you guys. I hope if you're going through a situation with a real psychopath, not just a narcissist, I'm talking about a deranged, malignant predator that wants to hurt you, that's stalking you, that's obsessed with you, that will not let you go. And you know what? I wanted to read a comment that came in not so long ago that sparked the energy for this video tonight. This one comes in from Manders. Mander goes, "No conscience at all. I don't believe people are disposable or discard them." I think you meant to say, or that we should discard them. "But I will not allow someone who intentionally hurts me in my life. These people are dangerous, manipulative, and cunning. They enjoy watching you react to their abuse. They enjoy dragging out and stringing you along. They tell you one thing, behave another way, stalk you, obsess about you, and violate you. It's insanity, and I will not feel bad for refusing to entertain this bullshit." Good for you, Manders. That is 100% on point. Let me tell you, 100% on point. You know, the craziest thing about all this is that once you're dealing with a psychopath and you've tried to get out of the relationship, because mind you, most of you have been trying to get out of that crazy, and I will say crazy because that's a crazy situation to be in. You've been abused, you've been beaten up, all sorts of shit has gone on. I mean, we can be here all day talking about the insanity that goes on in a household when you're married or you're dating a psychopath. It is beyond just texting another supply and withholding sex, which in and of itself is enough to traumatize anybody, believe me. This is like shit out of a movie, all right? And it's so difficult to get out because you're scared for your life. You're scared for your life. How do psychopaths, the reign of terror, how do they maintain that reign of terror? Fear and control. Fear and control. Like what the narcissist uses control. Maybe there's a little bit of fear, you know, the fear of losing the relationship, the fear of losing them, right? But I'm talking about real fear, okay? Real fear for your life. These predators don't have a conscience, and a lot of them are stupid as fuck, let me tell you. As intelligent as the reputation of a psychopath, a lot of these predators have extreme levels of psychosis that really clogs the rationality of making rational decisions, and they do stupid shit that just, it's like they bury themselves in a hole, and that hole gets darker and darker and darker, and they do it to themselves. But unfortunately, there's the casualties of war, and that's number one, it's the spouse, right? And then the friends, and any exes that may be around, and any co-workers that may be around. Anyone that's directly associated with you is gonna get a little bit when these predators discover that you know what they are and that you're trying to bail. But you know what really baffles me, just makes me laugh a lot, because I've heard this from a lot of you guys, and I know you're rattled about it when it happens, but it's the smear campaign that the psychopath goes out of their way to put together, to orchestrate, and how long that smear campaign will last. And one of the cards that they play, okay, one of the cards that they play is the empath card. When the psychopath plays the empath card, when they play the victim card, and they try to show the world through social media that they are innocent and they were abused, and that you are a narcissist. Oh my God, poor widow psychopath. Don't let them gaslight you with that bullshit. Let me ask you something, okay? Let's just be clear here. You guys have been with these predators. You've had all sorts of abuse happen to you, okay? Would an empath beat up their spouse? No. Would an empath beat up the mother of their child? Judges? I didn't think so. Would an empath stalk the living fuck out of you? Try to destroy your property? Would an empath attempt to burn your house down? Would an empath create a smear campaign that's tarnishing not only your name, right? But it's tarnishing the image of you as a mother to your child. Your child is witnessing, because kids are smart and kids are on their phones and kids are on social media. I don't condone that, but they are. And kids are watching their mothers, their name, their every essence destroyed online by this lowlife, piece of shit, deranged, dickless son of a bitch. Would an empath do that? No. Okay? So you can't let them gaslight you into actually considering that maybe you have NPD, maybe you're the problem, maybe you should seek counseling, maybe you should seek a therapist, maybe you should work with Kira on his coaching program. See what I did there? Shameless plug, just trying to help. Would an empath do that? Don't let them gaslight you. And you know what? Don't let them gaslight your friends. Don't let them gaslight your coworkers. You know what's been going on in that relationship for a long time. Chances are you were trying to exit this relationship for years. Now the thing is, some, not all, but some of these psychopaths are extremely charming. And they're quick-witted, fast talkers, right? And they dress nice, and they got swag, they got charm. They go around town. If you live in a small town, right? They'll start talking to people that you know. They'll start saying all these things. They establish rapport. And I understand that when the situation is like that, it starts getting tough. But when you have a history of like domestic violence, and it's been reported, and you can do the background checks yourself, and you can see it's all there. Your friends see it. They've got a history. They got a record. They got multiple records, right? Who's gonna believe them? Not even their attorneys will believe them. So they fabricate this smear campaign. They fabricate this empath card. They play the role of the empath, okay? Because they have to convince people that they were the ones that were abused. You see how they turn the situation completely around. They turn it around on you. The funny part is that they didn't know jack shit about narcissist personality abuse until you brought it up. When you told them, you're a psycho, you're a narcissist, you're a sociopath, when you told them that shit, when you were just fed up and you stood up for yourself and you told them, they were like, oh, what the hell is that? You know? And then in their spare time, they're like, narcissist abuse. What's narcissist abuse? Yeah, right? And they start reading, and then they stumble upon videos like this. And then they start, posting the same fucking shit. And they start just repeating the shit that they hear, but they don't grasp what it is. They see something like, I'm gonna jump on that. I'm gonna use that as my lifeline. I'm gonna use that as my lifeline to play the role of the victim here. And I'm gonna drive my prey crazy in doing it. Because you know the truth. You know you've been abused for a long time. And now this fucking dickless bitch is pulling this shit on you. It's like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. But they do that shit. So they'll start fucking posting shit. Narcissist abuse, yeah, I was discarded. Yeah, I was love bombed and discarded. They sound like complete fucking idiots, I can see that shit and laugh, but you see that shit and it's like heart palpitations, right? Because that's your abuser. But when you have an outside perspective and you see that shit, you're just a fucking clown. It's a fucking clown that keeps burying himself in a hole time after time. And you know what? You know because you've experienced this time and time again, right? Like with a narcissist, a lot of times they're cheating. They're out there and they're cheating on you. And it's killing you because you're home and you're like, he's with the other woman, he's with the other dude, and it's just driving you insane, right? But a lot of these psychopaths, they have a track record of just self-sabotaging and fucking up everything that's good in their life. You know why? Because they suffer from psychosis. That's the difference between just a low-tier narcissist or borderline, things like that. It's the disorder is not that advanced. Like when you study the cluster B personality disorders, when you study the umbrella, you see how many different things, nuanced symptoms, overlap. There's so much shit, okay? And if you introduce like addiction, like if they're a fucking cokehead, they're a fucking meth head, oh God. It's like now you're like a triple winner because A, he's a fucking psychopath, B, he's a narcissist obviously because all psychopaths are narcissists, C, fucking cokehead, okay? So you kick them out, they're out there, you think they're cheating, no they're not. They're stuck home in their cell. They're stuck home in their cell, miserable, having just psychosis spells, and that's when it gets scary because they lose all rationality at that point. They're convinced that you discarded them. They're convinced that you discarded them. They believe their own bullshit. So the psychosis kicks in, and, and they're desperate, right? And that's when they do stupid shit. That's when they do stupid shit. That's when they start stalking you, okay? Because something tells them, hey, you know what would be a great idea right about now, Mr. Psychopath? Let's go stalk your fucking ex-girlfriend. Let's go stalk your ex-wife. Let's go stalk all her friends. Because that just makes perfect sense right now. Oh, I know. I'll take a bump of cocaine, and that'll amp me up. And then, psychosis, cocaine, boom! And they go, and they're knocking on your door, they're smashing your windows, they're crawling inside, they're doing all sorts of stupid, dumb shit. If you're still alive, if you've survived all this so far, pat yourself on the back, on the shoulder, on the arm, wherever you can. Because that shit is a real nightmare. That is a real nightmare. And if you're not taking the steps to protect yourself, if you're not filing police reports every time these scumbags pull a mindless, deranged, psychopathic assault on you, whether it's cyberbullying, whether it's stalking, whether it's violence, if you're not doing anything to protect yourself, then this is never gonna stop. let me tell you, this will go on until the day they die or the day that they're locked up permanently. Remember what I said at the beginning. The psychopath reigns through fear and control. Okay? You got to take back control of your life. They're not in control of the situation. That's an illusion. And their empty threats and all that bullshit that they try to scare you with, all those bluffs, you can't be scared of that. You got the power of the universe behind you. You're going to be okay. You just got to face your fears. You got to take the necessary steps. You have to call the police. You have to file police reports. Then when it gets escalated, then it's easy. It's easy to get a restraining order. Okay? Some of these pieces of shit have multiple restraining orders on them. Okay? Some of these pieces of shit have a history of domestic violence, cocaine possession, breaking and entering, trespassing. They got a history. Okay? Time is running out on them, and they know it. So they have a rock bottom moment. They crash from their cocaine little trip. Now the tears come out. Now they realize they're fucked, and now they show up bearing gifts. They bring beer to your dad, flowers to your mom, video games to your kids. They make you all these promises. You're the love of my life. I'm gonna help you. I was put on this earth to take away your problems. Surrender control of your life over to me, and I will help you, and I will be your rock, and I will get you through life. And you're sitting there looking at this like, are you out of your fucking mind, psycho? Did you just forget all the shit that you just did? The smear campaign, the violence, the acts of violence? Did you just forget that? I think of it this way. Imagine like a homeless person. I'm talking about, you know, those crazy homeless people that are talking to themselves and they're just losing their shit, okay? That's where these dumb fucks end up, by the way. I'm not even kidding. That's where these motherfuckers end up at the end of their careers, you know, for lack of a better word. Because you sometimes wonder, how do you end up there? Well, someone that has their shit together up here will not end up out there. And if they temporarily lose their job or temporarily lose, you know, their home or something like that, because life is tough, let's face it, right? You know, they have a family member, they have a friend that they can crash on the couch. You know, they know how to put themselves out there to do some sort of work. But these guys, with their addiction and their psychosis, they just destroy it all. That's why they do shady shit, and they get into, you know, crime and all sorts of drugs and all sorts of, you know, black market, you know, type of work. They ruin their lives, and they ruin it for everyone else too. But I digress. My point is, imagine homeless person robs you. They steal your purse, steal your wallet, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then like 2 days later, you happen to be walking down the same street or whatnot, and this same lowlife shows up, and he just casually just looks at you in the eye and just asks you if you can spare $1 so that they can get something to drink. It's like, what? What? You just robbed me like last night, 2 nights ago. You don't remember me? Oh, sorry, ma'am. You know, I just need something to eat. Could you help me out? Could you help a brother out? That's the delusion. That's the delusion. You see that delusion, right? That's like at a fucking gone, like a brain dead gone type of level at that point, because they've hit just the lowest of low. But the psychopath, in the meantime, while you're living with them, while you're dating them, this is the shit that goes on. And eventually you get tired of repeating that cycle. You get tired of repeating the cycle. You know how it's going to be. You're trauma bonded to them. You're trauma bonded to these people. You're trauma bonded to your abuser. And some of you, believe it or not, some of you are not. Some of you are just afraid for your life, you know? You got to do what you got to do to survive, maybe. I don't know if you guys seen the movie Back to the Future 2. Great movie, one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite trilogies. Watch part 2. There's like an alternate universe that happens. Something gets altered in the timeline, and when they go back to the future, it's all changed. It's not the way, when they go from the future back to the past, all of a sudden everything's changed. And it's because one little thing took place in the future and it altered shit, right? Did I get that right? No, they went to the past. Yeah, they went back to the past. Some shit happened. They went to I don't know. You know what? Now I have to watch the damn movie again. So good job, Kira, for fucking this up. And now I got something to do tonight. So in a way, see, that's a silver lining. Anyway, watch the movie. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's an old movie, so if you haven't seen it, too bad. So what happens is, like, the mother of the main character, the mother of Marty, she looks like, you know, she's got breast implants now, and she just doesn't look like herself. She's living in this crazy mansion. And Biff, who used to be like the villain, and he was at the end of part 1, he was a loser. Now he's like the richest guy in town. He's like the richest guy. He did some stuff, right? So she has no other choice. Like, she was forced to marry him. And without him, she's nothing, because he will, ruin her credit, take the kids away, smear her name. Like, he tells her, he's like, what would you do without me? Who's going to pay for your credit card bills? Who's going to pay for your nails? Who's going to pay for your kids? I forgot the script now, but he basically lets her know, you can't leave me, because if you leave me, you're out in the street. I know that some of you have been in that situation where you're broke, you don't have many assets, you don't have anywhere to go, and you've stayed against your will. You haven't doubled down like a moron. No, you've stayed because you needed to support your kid, you needed to put food on the table somehow, and you met someone that was willing to give you all this shit. But their intention was to control you. Their intention, remember, their intention was to control you. It wasn't to make you happy. It was to fill that void that the psychopath has, right? That can never get filled. It was to control you. So they can feel like, okay, I got her under my control. I got her under my care. See that? That's narcissistic supply. They feel like they're in control. And by you rejecting that, it's like, no. I got this. Get out of the way. I got this. Let me handle this. You're just gonna be a puppet. You're just gonna sit there and look pretty. I'm gonna do all this shit. And when I want to, when I go through a psychosis episode and I decide to just beat you and just burn shit down and do stupid shit, go on a coke bender, I'm gonna do it, and you're gonna stay there because I'm the one that takes care of you. That makes them feel powerful. You see that? You see how that works? It's a complicated mess, really. So you have to simplify this shit. When you realize that you're dating someone that's completely fucked like this, you have to run. I wanted to snap my finger once, and the first one wasn't strong enough, I'm sorry. You have to run. You can't stick around hoping that this is gonna change, because I promise you, the beatings are gonna come much harder, much more often. And you're gonna be living in fear for the rest of your life. At some point, you have to go back and realize, damn, I saw the red flags. I saw those red flags. How did it get this bad? And how do they have the audacity to call themselves empaths and innocents and victims? How do they have the audacity? You know why? You know how? No conscience. They ain't got none. They ain't got none. You know what sounds like no conscience? No contact. That's right, no contact. If you've managed to escape, if you've managed to dump, divorce, discard even, okay? Because we discard trash, right? And these lowlifes are trash, so yeah, you discarded them if you pulled that off. and they're stalking you, and they're calling you, and they're harassing you, and they're emailing you, block them. They call you, block them. They call you from another number, block them. They call you from another number, block them. Another number, block them. Another number, block them. Another number. How do they keep getting all these numbers? I mean, that's some creepy ass shit. I mean, most people get the point. Okay, you don't want to talk to me after I call you a couple of times? Got it. Message received. But deranged, obsessive, compulsive, stalkerish, sociopathic, psychopathic fuckers will not stop. Will not stop. And they're just so obsessed with you. And instead of, getting laid, right? Like the narcissists probably do. They're just building a shrine in their head about you. It's this sick vision that they have, and no matter what, we try to like empathize with them, and we try to figure out like, damn, how does that feel? We can't, unless you're a fucking psycho. You can't really grasp what's inside their head, because it's irrational. You can see it. You see the behavior. You call it the behavior, and anybody will tell you, yo, you're fucking nuts. You're out of your mind. That's psycho shit. You don't even have to know what the disorder really is. It's like anybody would be like, that is some creepy, that's weird, psychotic, that's stalking, obsessive. I mean, holy crap, that's crazy. And that's what they do, because they refuse to let you go. But they're playing the victim card. They're empaths. They're empaths. Now, wouldn't you think that an empath would want peace? Wouldn't you think that an empath would just try to maintain calm and pray for you? I hope you get better. I wish you the best. I'm sorry for whatever I did. It's in God's hands now, right? Wouldn't an empath take that path? I'm confused. I thought they were empaths. I thought they were innocent victims. Why are they stalking and harassing you and destroying your reputation? That's weird. That's weird. Yeah. Don't let them gaslight you like that. Don't even buy. That shit will not hold up anywhere. That is just the lamest, weakest type of reaching. Yes, that's reaching that I've ever heard in my life. Is beyond pathetic. All right? So get your ass up. All right? Do what you got to do right now. Do not hesitate. If you're being stalked, if you're being harassed, if you're being fucking beat up, if you're being abused, okay, this is beyond. This is beyond cheating. This is beyond silent treatments. This is beyond that. Okay? And that in and of itself is enough to damage you for the rest of your life, right? If you're going through this shit and you got kids and they're monster's putting you through this shit, you better do what you gotta do, okay? Because it's not gonna stop. And if you're gonna go, if they're gonna take you out, then you better go down with a fight, all right? If you need help understanding the patterns of a deranged, controlling, compulsive psycho stalker, hit me up, okay? I have a coaching program. I specialize in working with victims of psychopathic, sociopathic abuse, not just narcissist abuse. That's most of the people, yeah. But these cases are beyond draining, okay? And you need someone on your side that's been through this, has put some of these people away before, okay? So that you can realize that they're not in control here, okay? They're not in control here. Just send me an email at the email below, or visit the website so that you get more information to see if we're a good fit for each other. Do not hesitate. These predators do exist. Do not waste another second trying to make sense out of this whole thing and asking yourself, I can't believe that there's people out there in the world. Yes, there are. Have you not studied history? Have you not seen the atrocities that have taken place throughout the history of the planet? There are evil, deranged, disturbed, disordered monsters roaming around the city right now. Yes, the planet. I meant to say planet, but you know, the city where you live, unless you live in the country or the suburbs, but you know what I mean. I know this was a dark video, but I think it's an important message. Just working with a survivor today, it was one of the, probably the second, if not the first worst horror stories that I have heard in the many, many years of me working with victims of psychopathic, narcissistic abuse and recovering addiction and friends and families of addicts. This has been one of the worst. I'm telling you, top two. I can't decide for right now which is worse. But it was so horrible. And it's like, wow, it went on for that long. But you know what? It's never too late to start taking action and making changes. It's never too late. All right? So reach out. If you really want to work with me privately, one-on-one, I can help you guys get your shit together. And you know what? If you got to go to the police right now, just do it. Trust me, do what you got to do. Okay? The psychopath, their time is running out. Their time is running out. That's all I got for today. If you got any value out of this video, drop a like in the video. If you hated it, you can drop a thumbs down. It helps the algorithm. Anyway, it helps the video grow as long as you're engaging. So thumbs up, thumbs down. Either way, it's great. Sound off in the comments below. Share these horror stories so people see that there's trauma beyond just love bomb, discard, devalue, or. And you know why I said that backwards? Because when a psychopath discards you, when a narcissist discards you, sometimes they discard you in their mind, but they keep you around and they start devaluing you. So sometimes it works the other way. I was having a conversation with my mentor the other night about just that. So it's interesting. Love bomb, devalue, discard, or love bomb, discard, devalue. Either way, share your stories in the comments and subscribe to the video. You know, the community keeps growing. There's trolls out there that, you know, there's psychopaths right now watching these things, learning. Like I said, they watch these videos, they learn, they try to project that onto you. You know, like I said, they're losers. So just keep moving forward. We grow in strength. We're growing in numbers. You know the truth. Got the power of the universe behind us. Keep moving forward. Keep loving yourselves, warriors. And I'll see you guys in the next video. My name is Kira, and this is Psychopath Exposure. Hope you guys have an amazing night, and I'll talk to you soon.